Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you want to know what's going on here, the title says it. I thought we'd do something different. Now, Prince Andrew, the brother of Prince Charles, has to vacate the Royal Lodge. Now, this is eviction time. You know, he's been asked several times to give it up, to move, and things like that. I mean, this is the privilege to live in these lodges, these houses. But he's not a working royal. And where's the money coming from? You know, he hasn't. To live in these homes, you have to keep them up to date, you know, preserve them, fix them up, you know, maintain them. Living in a big, big, giant house with just him, there's no reason. Have you ever seen that big white house? It's massive. Now, the Queen did give him that home to live in, but the thing is, he's doing nothing for it. And so King Charles has formally removed Prince Andrew's titles. Yeah, well, remove your son's titles and his wife's too, because they might not live in a royal lodge, but they no longer are working royals. So Prince Andrew has brought a bad name to the royals. It's cleanup time, and so has his son, Harry. So Andrew was supposed to come out of this gate, but I don't think he does. He may have escaped through the tunnel. There's a secret tunnel. Uh-huh. There's a secret tunnel. Of course there is. It's a castle. Now, removing his titles, this includes everything. Everything. He has been, it's like being exiled. Yeah, that's what they should do to Harry, because he has committed treason. Yeah, there's different law, you know, for kings and queens, and you must follow them. And taxpayers are fed up with funding a nobody that does nothing but cause trouble. Not just with the, you know who, but other things. And there's something wrong here with Meghan and Andrew. If you know, if you followed the story, you know, the royal family, you will know what I mean. And yeah, you know, when Meghan said she didn't even know who Harry was, I hope he's nice and kind. Uh-huh. Well, she knew who everybody was. The lies and deception, it just pisses me off. We want honesty. The public, the taxpayers fund the royal family. It comes out of taxpayers' money. And they are there to preserve cultures and run our country. Bring the money in. Bring the tourists in. Every country that has kings and queens, that's their job. Now, other countries have taken the titles away. Downsizing, they call it. Downsizing. Now, this mansion, this royal lodge, had or has 30 rooms. It's a 30-room mansion on the estate, Windsor estate. Now, he's been living there since 2003, mooching off the taxpayers because he don't have a job. I don't know who pays him. Now, Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. That's it. No titles. No Royal Highness. Well, that was gone for a while. No Prince. He's no longer got the title of Prince. Now, he's probably going to say the cancer that his brother has made him lose his mind. Now, this eviction notice was served, just a day or two ago. Now, he's expected to leave early 2026. He's got eviction notice, he's got to move, and they are going to give him another place to live. Yeah, well, that's not going to be on the taxpayer's expense, let me tell you now. His brother, Charles, is probably going to have to footbill. You think this man's got money. You think he's got money. Well, he did have money. His mother left him money, then spend it. You would think he would have bought his own home by now. Well, he did have places, but he got sued, didn't he? One of his favorite places that he bought was paid. He had to sell 12 million because he had a civil lawsuit against that woman, the one that he was photoed with when she was 17. But that girl was 17. But this picture was taken in England when it is legal. It's legal. 16 is legal age. So it really didn't matter what you goddamn do as long as you don't do anything illegal, against their will. And there must have been other things going on because this girl was an American. She was not, well, she definitely was not English. And she was over there well, I think she was a paid escort of some kind. That's what it looks like. You know how they do, like the yacht girls, But anyway, she was 17. It's legal in England. 16 is legal. Now, Andrew is set to move to a private property in Sandringham Estate. Now, this is in Norfolk. Now, this is personally owned by the king. That's what I just said. It has to be something that King Charles owns because the taxpayers will not foot his bill. Now, King Charles' money is paid by the taxpayers' money. So it doesn't matter. Taxpayers are still paying for it in the long run. Now, by doing that, he avoids all kinds of problems, which is tied to the Crown Estate holdings. Now, which property he's going to? that has not been disclosed. Negotiations are going on, you know. Now, Sarah Ferguson, his ex-wife, you'd never know it was his ex-wife. Now, she's deviant. Now, she has ties to you know who here in America, who is now deceased. She has ties, and she needs to get out too. I wonder if they're going to move in together, because those two can't live without each other, because they're two of a kind. Now, she has reportedly refused any financial assistance or alternate housing. But you know what? Her kids got money, and they've offered, they can easily buy her a house. This woman has got herself in so much trouble that she too does not have money or a home to piss in. It's crazy, right? No, because they wanted security, didn't they? They wanted to be treated like royalty, have security, you know, within the grounds. Now, we don't know where she's going to live, but it's not like she doesn't have anywhere to go. She has children, and so does he. You know, they share two daughters. Now, you know, the allegations between, you know, the girl was Virginia Go Free, and the other guy was Jeffrey, you know who. That's their ties. And they even took their kids there when they were young. Mm-hmm. And they nearly pulled one of their daughters into their business and nearly ruined her career in the arts, especially on her opening day. So that is the latest news on what's going on in Royal Berkshire. And of course, you know, guys, this is where I'm from, Royal Berkshire. I just live, well, I used to live about 15-minute car ride from here. Actually, I am closer to where Kate's parents live in Bucklebury. That is where the area I live. And that is where my granddad was born. And his family lived in Bucklebury, Berkshire. Now the press is waiting in the rain just for a picture. They waited all day in the rain, all afternoon. I don't know why they expected him to come out or where he was going, but he certainly didn't come out this gate. He knows. Listen, he keeps a low profile. Now this is going on, he sure is going to keep another low profile, you know, even. He should be embarrassed. I wonder how he feels. Don't feel bad, Andrew. Don't feel bad. You know, you're mooching off the public. Mooch off your brother now. That's it. That's all you've been. You weren't a very good worker, a royal. You didn't do much for nobody. Just sat, party. Now, he's not the first one. Oh, no, he's not the first one. What people don't see, they don't know. Don't show and tell. You know, like the Queen used to say. You know, just keep your mouth quiet until you have to speak, no matter. Yeah, raining in England again. What a change, huh? Rain. Ah, this is how it is. Now, the last time I went home, I went here. I went to Windsor, took my son because my son was there. It's not like it's something that I've seen all my life, and it's nothing. Look at the dogs, and people can walk all around and stuff. This castle, it's just certain areas you can't go to. So I've seen this all my life. You know, it's nothing new to me. But my son hadn't, so I got my dad to drive me and my niece and my brother, who's slow. You know, he's got learning difficulties and stuff. He laughs a lot out loud. And well, he's 50 years old now, but he's still like a kid. And but lives on his own. He's not that. He's very independent, if you know what I mean. But my mother makes sure that he's taken care of. Like, she used to go to his house. She don't do it anymore because my mother had a stroke. But you know, he's quite able to do stuff, but he has to be told what to do. Like, you taking a bath yet? You wash that hair, right? You're not allowed to do any cooking except if I'm here supervised, or you know, these simple things that you can do. Because one time he nearly set the house on fire, and so he knows that he only can cook certain things. Like when I was there, I say, "Hey, Michael, cook me some." His name's Michael, and well, we call him Mike. And oh, I can't cook. Mum told me I'm not allowed to. I said, you're okay if I'm here. If somebody's here to supervise you, you can do it. But anyway, he liked when I was there because I was cooking for him and then preparing him some meals and freezing them. Because, you know, I like to take care of my brother, but I live here. If I wasn't here, I'd probably be there doing stuff for him, making sure his medication is, well, one time I had to make sure his medication was fine because nobody else was doing it for him, even his carer. I say, Michael, you, where's your medication? Oh, it's all in there. What do you mean it's all in there? In one bottle. I say, but how do you know if you've been taking them or not? Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've been taking them or not. My God. And then my mom, she's like, oh, that's the carer's job. They're meant to make sure he takes his medication. I'm like, well, obviously he's not. That's why he's not feeling good. That's why he's off balance and everything. So I said, come with me. We're going down to the pharmacy. I'm going to have a good talk to that pharmacist. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to set up some dosset box for 1 month. We're going to order them that they be in a box because he's good at numbers, very good at numbers. I says, then we're going to label them like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And when you're done with your last box on week 3, you will put your order in. Mm-hmm. And then you take the boxes back when you go to pick up your new prescription. So I ordered them this way. He can keep track of each day of his medication. And that works perfect. But I did that when I went home. I said, my God, I've never seen such. I'm like, don't you CNAs have any sense? You're getting paid to take care of my brother. You know, make sure that he's taking care of his medication. They're ordered. He's taking them. You know, take him down to play a game of pool. Keep him company. Make sure his bills are being paid. Independence, right? Yeah. I says, call up that place because I want a word with them. My mom goes, oh, don't come over here causing a problem. I say, it's not a problem. I am a CNA. I do this kind of work in America. If somebody's not taking their medication, it's my job to report it. If a CNA is not doing their job, a home care is not doing their job, it's my job to report it. And that works the same way in this country. I said to my brother, you know, you got to stop helping mom out because she's getting older. She's not so young anymore. She ain't here to do your washing and your dusting, making your bed, make sure you change your sheets. He goes, oh, that's her job. That's her job. I said, you're not a baby anymore. And she's not going to be here much longer. Well, who knows? And then she had a stroke. I said, well, there you go, Michael. Now she's had a stroke. Now, you got to go down there and help her. Oh, yeah, I will. I will. I'll go do the best I can. So I feel bad for my brother, but there's nothing I can do because I want to come to America. I got to get him over here one day. He's the only one that hasn't come over. I used to pay for my family to come over, but, you know, but they didn't pay for me to go over there, but who cares? I just worked and saved up my pennies. And, but I need to get him over here he don't have no animals now, so it's a good time to get him over because there's places he wants to see. He loves car racing and stuff. And so do I. I like car racing and motorbikes and all that kind of stuff. And he wants to go to the racetrack in Indianapolis. That's his dream, to get there. Right, it's not like it's too far for me to drive. I say about 5 hours. Well, still, it's not far. And I thought, yeah. So I think next year I'll get him over before he gets any older or any sicker or something. Give him something to look forward to. And to make sure that he's got a passport and it's in order, because I'm not sure. His passport's probably run out by now. Because when my brother was alive, he used to go with my brother a lot and go to the races, because my brother raced. So he used to be with my brother Stephen a lot. Well, he's gone, and then my brother had nothing to do, more or less. He was all excited. You know, we went camping when I went over there another time. He said, we're going camping. We're going to Wales. Stephen's going to race, and I fixed the tent up for you. I said, the tent? He goes, yeah, me and you. We're going to be in the tent. He says, I'll wake up and I'll make you a nice cup of tea. I said, oh, thanks. And he did too. 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, okay, you didn't need to wake me up at 7 o'clock in the morning to make me a cup of tea. Oh, is that too early? Yeah, it's a little too early. But anyway, he did do it. Anyway, he made me a cup of tea, and I was like, oh, actually, not a bad cup of tea, actually. A very good cup of tea. I was quite surprised. I said, Michael, you make a good cup of tea? He goes, yeah, okay. Kind of like that. So, yeah, Michael came with me, and we went to Windsor, my son. And then, that gave Michael something to talk about, showing my son, which was, I took him over there because it was going to be his 16th birthday. And that's the first time I took him over. And he loved it. My son loved it. He said, I want to live here. Could I go to school here? I said, no. Why not? I says, because you're 16 and you finished school in America. There's no way that you could just, I don't even live here, I said. You could. You could go to school here, but you have to live with somebody and they have to support you and stuff like that, you know. But anyway, I said, well, don't worry. You're going to graduate and get a good job. You can come back again. You can even go to college over here if you wanted to, or, you know, exchange student or something like that. But anyway, he did go back over there, but he went with his friends. And they stayed in London in a hotel, and his friend went out, I don't know, went out to get something. He got robbed. He stole his phone and whatever. I'm like, oh my God. I said, I told you, don't look like a tourist. Don't be on your phone. And don't go alone places, especially in London and busy places like that. Don't go alone anyway. Oh, yeah. Well, we found that out. I'm like, oh my God. You know, years ago, you didn't have to worry about that, but you do now. Do you know, things are different.
I'm hoping once my release gets
So
I want to
this is very entertaining. I know, guys, with the gate opening and shutting, but this is a busy place. Look, people with their dogs coming in and out. You don't need the gate open for a dog. You use the
but I
gate.
really fancy doing that
But
after
cars are in and out.
but I'm on to the park.
Well, when you think they're coming, but they're not. So look at these guys. You know, this is a damp, rainy day, and they just sit there in the rain, stand there in the rain with their cameras. You know, I wonder how much money they get paid. Oh, what's the door shutting for? Look, there's a car coming. Oh, look, you're going to hit the gate in a minute. Idiot.
It's sat in the car.
Right.
It definitely is.
I wonder how these gates open.
But no one else knows.
Is there something underground or is there somebody pressing a button?
I know, yeah. He might just be sat in the car up there.
Because, you know, anybody could walk in there if they wanted to, couldn't they?
Behind you, then.
When them gates are open, a car comes by, you could be hiding in the bush and then you walk in. But they must have security. They must have security. You know, most people drive sticks over there, stick shifts. Maybe now they got automatics, maybe a bit more, but I never seen an automatic before till they become the norm. I mean, having a stick was a luxury, but having a stick was costly. It's more expensive to have an automatic than a stick shift. Oh, there's the horses. This is country life. Horses everywhere. Mm. A lot of cars over there are diesel.
What's going on with the signal?
A lot of diesel
I
cars.
know. I thought it
It's
kind of
bad
goes on and on,
earlier.
doesn't it?
Yeah. It was bad earlier, but now it's just like
Anyway, I just thought I'd
fine.
come live and have a chit chat. Chit chat, whatever you want to chit chat about while we're being entertained by
Glad
these
it's over now.
fools here. And happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Is anybody going out for the candy? Taking the kids out? My daughter's not. She don't believe in that. She thinks it's, I don't know, witchy. Witchy. I'll be like, oh my God, it's dress up time. Do you know what I mean? Ooh. My God, this gate is busy. I don't know why they just don't leave the gate open. Come on, leave the gate open. It's crazy. You should have somebody standing there. Just leave the damn gate open. It's ridiculous. Mm.
Well, these are guys we the ones that go over the fence or just open the gate for me.
It's the little things, guys. I was just looking at some pictures. It was my mom's birthday yesterday. So I was sharing some pictures of her and when she was a little girl. You know, my grandma thought she wasn't going to have no more kids. I mean, her oldest son was 10 years old, but she got pregnant. And she didn't like it because she was pregnant. She did not. She didn't want no more kids. But when my mother came along, oh boy, that was a different story. She had a girl. She didn't look like my grandmother. No, she didn't. She didn't have her look. She didn't have her shape. She didn't have nothing. But she looked like her dad, though, my granddad. I mean, my grandmother had dark eyes. She had blue. My granddad had blue eyes. Yeah. So I, why, her mother kept a close eye on her. Oh, yeah. She's a feisty one. She says, oh, my God, I got some work on my hands. And she got older. She was losing her mind. Because my mom liked the boys. Oh, yeah. And, you know, her son, my uncle, well, he was a good little boy, never got into no trouble or nothing. Shy or something, whatever you want to call it. She completely different. Completely different to her son. So she had some work.
Look, it's slowly getting there. Just a little circle now. It's getting there. Batteries should be dead on it by the time it's fixed. You're leaving it on or not? Yeah. Warmed up, isn't it? It's public right away for obviously cameras and stuff. I'd like getting out, get out. Never walk if you want.
Wonder if I got a picture of her on file.
No one else is bothered.
I mean, I share these pictures on.
There is other people that use the gates and stuff. Oh, that must be where Brady is then. That's definitely where Scarlet Blue one. No.
On Facebook.
Yeah, he was here.
They're not on my computer.
It'd be nice if you could share where he's going if there was anything.
It's not like you can copy and paste them here because they don't let you do that, do they?
Yeah, there is another gate down there somewhere, but there's some people on the long walk as well. Unless they think that they'll just take screen grabs from this if he comes out. Yeah. Well, no, when you're a wire, you need to make sure you get the same as the other wires. You can't miss it. Unless they pulled it. Oh, so I think.
You know, when my mom was a kid, when my mom was a kid, well, I'm the one that looked like her as a kid, from when she was a baby till she was 2 or 3. My son looked just like me and looks like my mother when she was young. Yeah, oh, here comes somebody. Here comes the baby in the cart. Let me in. Let me in. What's the point of taking your kids for a damn walk and you put them in a cart? I mean, like, that's work, man. Make your kids walk. You know, British people will walk in any kind of weather to get to A to B. Yeah. And if they walk every day just because it's raining, don't mean they ain't taking a walk. They take a walk. My granddad took a walk every day. He says, you know, take care of yourself, take care of your body, eat, you know, don't overeat, but eat good. Don't overindulge. Drink a shot of whiskey, drink a pint of Guinness. He says, and you'll live for a long time. And make sure you walk every day for at least 20 minutes. A good brisk walk, he said, no matter what the weather. A good brisk walk. And that's what he did all his life. And he lived to 104. How about that? And he still had all his marbles. Yeah. When he was 100, he says, well, I just can't believe that I gotta wear glasses. There must be something wrong. Why do I need to wear glasses? I'm not wearing the glasses. But he liked to read the newspaper. Well, you need your glasses on. Ooh. He hated to wear glasses because he thought he was fine. I'm like, oh, do you want to go blind or what? You know, put your glasses on. And that was 100 years old. He had very good eyesight.
I was told to take an umbrella.
You know, he was in the army.
Where am I going to get an umbrella?
His brother was an electrician. But on the job, I don't know if he was 21 or something. Well, he was in his 20s. He got electrocuted, died. That's why I don't remember him, ever. Of course I didn't. I wasn't born.
It's a longer drive in the car, but where in the country?
But I've been all around here. Where's that little post office? getting a little bit bored about that, I got a Google map. Put in the comments whether you want me to show you Buckleberry, where I lived, and my hometown. Give you an idea where. Oh, look at that bike. Their bike ain't even. It's all wobbly. Look at it. You see that? It's not even got a stand at the bottom. Do you want me to Google where I used to live? Seeing as we're on the old British. You know, they celebrate Halloween too now. They love it. Kids love it. It's a day to dress up. They get free candy. That's why you never let your kids go alone. You always be accompanied by an adult. And they do it. Most of the time they do it in the day now. But there are some events that do happen at night. Like, you know, some areas in the neighborhood, they have a block party and they get all their homes up for mazes and stuff like that, and haunted stuff popping up here and there, hay rides and everything like that. Well, anyway, that's what is happening. I'm just going to warm my coffee up because I'm going to go to Google Match and I'll show you Buckleberry, where Kate's, well, where Kate was from, you know, Princess Kate, Catherine, where they grew up. And her mother owned a shop in Newbury, Berkshire. I met her mother years ago. Well, she was a nobody. Do you know what I mean, Chip? She owned a shop. That's when she first opened her business, that party store. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. But, you know, it also was costly too. But I thought it was costly, you know, but it gave you some great ideas. I also live near a horse track, famous horse track. You want to look it up. Newbury Races. Newbury, Berkshire. They had a horse track. I used to work there when they had their meetings. I used to work all over. When I was about 14, I got a little job. There's nothing much I could do. I was the dishwasher or something like that. I used to wash. Well, we didn't have dishwashers back then. Do you know what I mean? I was 14 then. I used to be one of the dishwashers for parties, like private parties, like royalty. These famous chefs that used to cook for royalty. Oh my God, we used to get so much food. Oh my God. At the end of the race, you know, it could be a 2 or 3 day race at the races. And at the end, they were going to throw it away or you could take it home. You know, but they'd be cooking stuff every day, you know, fresh meals every day, fresh bakery, you know, all those kind of things. And so I used to wash dishes. And, you know, waitresses that would work there were from another part of Berkshire. And I met this one waitress, right? She was older than me. Everybody was older than me. Of course they were. But you know what happened later on? When I went back to England, I worked for a little bit while I was over there, home care. And I went to this house, and this little Irish lady was sitting there. And when she spoke, I instantly recognized her voice. I said, I've heard that voice before. You know, and this is many, many, many years. I'm grown up now. I'm Mortimer. probably was 50 then.
news agents have
And I went,
about how PA
were you ever a waitress that worked for a company that went to the races as a waitress? She goes, yeah.
Palace. Well, the
I
Palace
said, that's where I know you from.
holds
Do you remember that little girl that used to do the dishes?
photographer, and
Because, you know, there weren't too many, like
camera operator who
specifically at Newbury races.
in Italy at the time in the Vatican, and they were like,
She remembered
"There's
me,
to be outside the gate at this time,"
and we got on really good. We got on really good.
and then it's just become a friendly. And they were like, "Yeah, this building."
Well, anyway, working on the races back in the day, horse racing,
You told me
I went to ask Captain,
you said freelance instead of staff because that's not how it
there's
works.
about 5 different ones. Newbury, ask Epsom, Epsom.
So it's probably just
I've
freelance.
been to the Chelsea Flower Show and
So
worked,
someone that hasn't got a good
you know, all those kind of places.
the way
There's a lot of rich people that work there,
but yeah, I was listening to
and they feed you a 3-course meal for free. Every day, the workers would get a meal, full cooked meal. You see, they probably don't do that anymore. But that's just how the British worked. If you worked at a hotel or anything like that, you would get a meal, a full meal cooked by the chefs for their staff. You see that happening in America? I worked at a few hotels,
it's getting better. It's just taking its time.
and you probably wouldn't get a cooked meal, but a discount.
Wait for it to get a bit warm.
Hell. Well, anyway, working on the races,
Middle goes, and then I'll switch that back into
I more or less was in private parties, stuff like that. I met a lot of chefs. Oh, this chef liked me. He was like, I thought he was an old man because he was like 30 something. He might have been 40, I don't know. But anyway, I was 15 at the time. He goes, you want to come out for a drink or go out for dinner or something? And I said, yes. Well, he liked me. His name was Michael, too. I said, oh, I'm attracted to Mike's. My dad's Mike, my brother's Mike. But anyway, I didn't like him that way, but he liked me that way. And I'm thinking, oh, you're too old to me. But you know, if you think about it, that wasn't really old. If you think about it.
We're not like in the middle of nowhere as well.
this road. If you can turn off this road, it's fine.
But anyway, yeah, I met a lot of men there. Oh my God! Used to meet the porters and everything. I used to. They didn't even live near me, and I used to invite them to parties that was going on. They'd come all the way from London, wherever, Essex, wherever they lived, go on the train, come down, spend the night, and go home. I'd be like, man,
File the stuff and this and hope it's the right way. Luckily it is.
I wish I kept in touch with those people because they were good friends. I knew them for, well, at least 2 or 3 years anyway. Because, you know, when I was 16, I really didn't work. I got a full-time job and didn't work there no more. Oh, I did once in a while, maybe on the weekend or something. But, you know, I had a life then. Had money in my pocket. Yeah, so this is all this is about. Let's go further because I just thought I'd show you this while we just chat. Then it gets darker. People walking their dogs again. See, these people just go through these gates. And then it got dark. Then it got darker. See, anybody can go through here just riding their damn bikes around. Then it got darker. And the camera's still there. I don't know what they expect. Then it rained some more. Then it rained some more. Ooh. Ooh. you'll want to see where I lived. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. If you're just coming in, you're wondering what this is. This is outside Windsor Castle, where ex-Prince Andrew lived at the lodge. He's got to vacate the premises. Ordered so by the King Charles. Mm-hmm. After all, it is Halloween. Now, it's 4:50 Eastern Time. Now, don't forget, England is about, well, it depends on the clocks. Sometimes you're 5 hours, sometimes it's 6 hours ahead. Don't forget, it's this weekend. Change your clocks back. I said that last week. Hey, don't forget to change your clocks back. And everybody goes, oh my God, yeah. And I got the wrong week. But you know, in England, I get mixed up with England and America sometimes. You know how it is. They're a week apart. So 1 year we put our clocks either back or forward, and the following week England does. And then the next clock change, England goes first and America goes second. That's kind of how it is. So it gets confusing. And that probably happens everywhere in Europe at the same time. Because, you know, England is run Greenwich time. The world is run by Greenwich time. That's England time, okay? There's another diesel car. I remember when they first came out, the diesel. My neighbor used to have one. And I'd be like, damn, they're so goddamn loud. But it's just, you know, the cars nowadays, when you stop your car, just say you're at a traffic light or anything like that, your car stops. And then you just put your foot on the pedal and it restarts it. My sister's got a new car. Her car does that. Yeah. As soon as you stop, your car stops. And it saves on gas and idling and things like that. So, yeah. Especially in England where the gas is so high. You know, the petrol. Petrol, guys. When I go back to England, I cut off all my American words and I start using the English words. I can go into the garage. I'm going to the petrol. I'm going to get some petrol. I love it. I start talking another language. Well, it is kind of another language. We use different words. So, you know, you either know it or you don't. Except I'm Americanified now. I'm Americanified. I can do some accents. Y'all. A southern accent. Y'all. Okay, I couldn't keep that up. I do not say y'all. Okay. Y'all. No, I don't say that. Yo. I might say yo people. No, I don't even say that. Not as a regular speech, I mean. I just love it. It cracks me up. Hey, Dan, what's up? Hey, Alkies. You know, I didn't have the comment thing on, and it didn't. I just pressed on it. It didn't show up, guys. Sorry. So I'm behind. If you're still there, do you want me to show you my hometown in England? Because I got the map up. Just some sights. This is outside, because it's some breaking news. Things are happening in my country, especially in my county of Royal Berkshire. That's where I'm from. This is outside the lodge, Windsor Castle. King Charles has formally removed Prince Andrew's titles. It's a big thing. He will be moved onto the private property of King Charles' Sandringham Estates in Norfolk. That is personally owned by King Charles, so it's not supported by taxpayers' money. But it was probably bought by taxpayers' money because, you know, where did he get his money from? So King Charles has removed all his titles. He's been evicted out of the Royal Lodge, a 30-room mansion on Windsor Estate. And Andrew has lived there since 2003 when the Queen betrothed it to him. You don't own it. It just says you were given that. But it's way too big for him. Way too big and costly. And frankly, he probably isn't keeping the estate up.
What?
The mansion costs a lot of money.
All right, we'll catch him, don't you worry.
You didn't catch him? Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry, mate. They didn't catch him, though. As far as I know, they're still there. You know, sometimes these reporters got an inside scoop. Mm-hmm. What? Even if he comes through those gates or leaves through the gates, but it's dark now, it's nighttime. What do you want a picture of? It's nothing to see. My God, no. You know, this is breaking news, guys, and this hasn't happened for a long time. A prince being stripped of his titles. Now, he can stay there for a minute until he moves out, but he has to move out. Now, I don't know whether this was I don't think they had a meeting and said, Andrew, what shall we do? Do you want to move out? Oh, okay, I'll move out. But it isn't just that. He wouldn't move out. He wasn't going to move out. He said, I got a lease on here for 70 some years or whatever it was, right? 100 years it was, but he's been there since 2003. And I think you get like 100 years lease on something. You know, because these homes on the estates are kind of run separately to each person living there. And they are granted a grant for the upkeep of every place they live in. And they have to, all paid for by the taxpayers. But the thing is, when the taxpayers are paying for it, is a business and they keep up what repairs have been done and make sure they are done and their money has been spent where it's supposed to be spent. And yeah, so this is a business. And I don't think he's been doing any work. He hasn't monetized, not monetized it, but modernized it. And he hasn't done shit. It's probably fucking going to ruins inside, you know, big mansion. But anyway, that's what they're doing. Let's go to the maps. You know, this is where I lived, and I'll probably get mixed up with where I'm going. But I know this area. So let's see. This is called the Bath Road, right? It says Bath Road on there, also known as the A4. And I've walked this road many a times, even with my daughter when she was born. Before I come to America, I used to catch the bus up here. Well, I could drive, but I like to walk and catch a bus. You meet everybody, you get to have a chit chat. Oh my God, I miss that. Bumping into people I know. Bumping into people I know and having a chat. I couldn't go nowhere without. It used to take me forever to go down the street and get some food because we used to bump into everybody and we used to have to stop and have a chit chat. So if I went down there to get some eggs or bread or anything, or some milk, it should only take me 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It ended up being a 2-hour job, okay? So, and everybody that used to go shopping or anything, they wouldn't be in their pajamas, man. People used to get dressed up. And I mean dressed up. Their hair done, their hats on or off, their shoes on, high heels, man. I used to go shopping in high heels. Oh, I couldn't wear high heels. Now they kill me. But I used to go everywhere in high heels. But that was just like wearing flats to me. And anyway, they made shoes better than them days. And I used to wear clocks most of my life because my nan's brother had a shoe shop. And they would make sure my feet was measured and I'd get the right shoes, clock shoes I used to wear. Oh, yes, I was pretty fancy. The perks of having a great uncle as a cobbler. Yeah, that's what you call him. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, let me do this. Okay, this is the Bath Road, right? Here, down here, my friend lives down here. She's a millionaire. And this house here, you see this house here? When I was a carer, I went in there and took care of a young lady who had some mental issues. Well, this is a bit overgrown, but it wasn't because this house stays empty for emergencies, for like housing, temporary housing for people that have escaped or waiting for a home. And they put them in places like this for emergency housing. So, but they still have to be maintained by the council. And this looks like it was run down at this time, but it's not always looked like that, let me tell you. So my friend lives down here. She brought her friend home, her best friend, Beverly Close. It's called Beverly Close. See that? It says Berkshire on there. See that? Berkshire, Berkshire. And down here, oh my God, I used to know everybody that lived in these homes. It's surprising. I can't believe it. Who used to live here? But this house right there, well, you can't see it now. See, it says A4 there. I know lots of people all around these estates, right? Down that road, up there's a bar. Let me see. There's a bar down here. My friend used to live down here. See? She used to live over there. It's little cottages, we call it. They're little. There's a bar. And my friend used to live here. And my sister lived down here one time. So very tiny. She lived in one of these houses. I don't know which one it was now. I can't remember. But she lived around here. Oops. So these are what the houses look like. Some newish, some older. Let's get back on the main road again. Was it this house? I think it was this house. Yeah, it was this one. See this house? My sister lived there at one time in this house. She owned her own home, so she lived there at one time. We're back on the main road. Let's just go back up here a minute. There's a bus stop. I'll tell you what, these cottages here. See these? Ugh. Let's go over that way a little bit so we can turn around. There's the bus stop. I used to sit there at the bus stop because I'll be going to Newbury, which is that way. See these houses? Which one is it? Not this one. Not that one. I think it was this one over here. It's a bit different to how it used to be when I was a kid. But my mother used to live there. I used to know people in these houses, that one, this one. Oh my God. Hey, let me go down here. We used to go down there to, it used to be down, there's an alleyway here. My other grandmother used to live up there a little bit. This goes down, it used to be a field. It's all housing now. But it used to be just like the malls. So this is where my grandmother lived. This is the streets I walked. And I knew people down here too. Especially this. You see, this house here was never like that. That's a new house. It was an old cottage. Old cottage where my friend Rachel used to live. Her name was Rachel too. And there was a lot of Polish people down this street. This is called Norfield Road. So I knew people in these homes. My grandmother knew everybody. My grandmother knew everybody. And there's an alleyway right here. I used to live at the back there. Let me go down there. Oops. One of these houses. I lived before I come to America. I lived down this road. I loved it. I loved it down here. Which house is it? Yeah, that house. I lived there. And at the back, yeah, this one. I lived in this house. And I had an old lady. These are all full of people that were elderly. But I just lived here before I moved to America because I thought I would move here. So I'd be near my grandmother. And down the road, I had a babysitter. And another friend of mine lived down here. And she moved to America. And she lives in Florida now. And in one of these, I think it was this home, that used to be my babysitter. And her daughter dates my dad's aunt. We used to go down this road. And there was an alley. Where's the alley? Ooh. Got the alley blocked off. I don't even know where the alley is. Maybe it's down this road. There's a alley. There's the alley. I knew there was an alley somewhere. So these are the houses that look like where I lived. Some new, some older. And you know what about this house? This house is a new house. It was never there because an old lady, Polish people lived there. And there was a lot of land, so they sold it. So anyway, Lancaster Close I used to live at. Wow. And over here, there was a guy that was blind and he lives on his own. Brilliant. He can do everything. And my son used to go. How am I going to get out of here? Go too fast. I can't get out of here. I don't know where I'm going now. I don't know what that is. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Here's the school. That's the school. Whitelands. Should say Whitelands on it. Yeah, it says Whitelands. This is where my son went to school. Right there. This here used to be all fields. This school wasn't even here. Used to be all fields. Used to ride down here and go all the way down there home. So when I was a kid, that was all fields. And I remember when it was being, here's the bus, here's the bus. Right, we go down here. Oh, where's my friend? So my friend, she lived down this road. So we go down here. I know all these people that lived along here. All of them. Here's the shops. I think I lived in these shops. These two shops. So always go into them. And guess why? Because right here, my God, is the house. Not that one. Hey, look at that old house. Anyway, this house right here, this one, I can't get around it. See this house right here? That was my grandmother's house. That's my grandmother's house. My brother owns it. And that's why I lived in those doors, because I lived opposite. So there's my grandmother's house. It looks small right here, but it's bigger than that. It just looks smaller. We used to have a big lawn here with a driveway here. My grandmother used to park her car long ways like that. So my brother owns his house. It's a 3-bedroom. It's got a long garden at the back, very long vegetable garden, a big garage, 2 apple trees. I think a pear tree and an apple tree. Yep. Yep, that's where I spent. That's where my mom was born. That's where I stayed all the time. I was always in this house. So anyway, that's my grandmother's house. And so I know who lives there. Oh my God, I should stop saying that. I know where everybody is. It was a quaint little small town, but when I was growing up, it was not so busy, but got busier. We'll go to the town. So this is where I grew up, and you could see me walking these streets, right, on the Bath Road. This is the doctor's office. This is parking. These apartments when I was growing up was never here. This was a community club. Back here is the green where we used to play, people play cricket. But now they got tennis courts there, okay? This is a club, another club. And at the back, they got a bowling. They play bowling. This is where I used to come for the soccer games, support my boyfriend. He played on these fields. I can't get at the back. But anyway. So they built knocked that building down and built apartments. And this is the doctor's office. I cleaned that doctor's office. I had a job there cleaning. Nope. We gotta go this way. See right in here? That's the doctor's office. It says Thatcham on it. See? That's where I'm from. Thatcham. And here's some little strip malls, as you say in America, little stores. My sister lived in one of them up here when she was young. She got herself. And this is where we used to have the village fete, where it used to be. Well, it's before that doctor's office was built. And down here there was it was grass, and it was like a magic garden type thing. We used to have fetes down there. And these are some apartments they built. This is where assisted living kind of thing. This is the end of the town. Oh my God, look at that. I hope you're paying attention, everybody. Might be a bit boring for some. So this is the little village, my little village. Okay, this is where I used to. I stood around here one time, right? Just here, and the queen came down. And so she came to our town and drove down here. And I would sit over there when I was little. I remember that one. This is our fish and chip shop every Friday night. Right here, fish and chips. And this is my favorite Indian restaurant. Oh my God. Ooh, favorite Indian restaurant. I love Indian food. Authentic. My friend who lives in England owns a restaurant. She went in business with them. Indian restaurant. Not here, but far out. Anyway, so this is the bar I used to go to. This one. I love this one. The Crickets. Aha. I love this bar. It's got a little garden at the back. Can we get in there? No, probably not. No, you can't get in there. But anyway. So this is another bar I used to hang out with. It's all down the village. If you wanted to go to the bar, you had to go down the village. It's nice in there. Just village people that know everybody. And I used to walk down here. I can't remember what this used to be, but no. Oh my God, this used to be a bank. I don't know what's happened there. But this is Google, so who knows what's happening here right now. It was a bank. See, probably remodernizing it. This is a bar. The White Hart. My friend's father owned that. And here, it's not just a bar. They have rooms upstairs that they rent out to travelers that are passing through, like a bed and breakfast. This used to be our local store. I remember this. My mom used to send me here before it was a laundromat or anything like that. It was a little store. And she'd send me down with a shopping list, and I'd take the pram, and I sit there, and the shopkeeper would fill your order for you. Yeah. And then later on it turned into a laundromat, and now it's dry cleaning. This is the off license. Over here is another bar. See, everybody knows everybody. The King's Head, they also have B&Bs up here, up in the attic and on that floor. I've never been upstairs. See this place? This was all farm, a farmhouse. My friend's family owned it. I mean, this was never here. It was just land. So it's just coming out of the town. And at the back of here, they got a nice garden. It goes all the way down there, so you can take your dogs and let them run. Yeah, I've been into this bar a lot. King's Head. So these are the kind of pubs I used to hang out in. Here's the toilets. They got some public toilets. Bus stop either side here and there. This used to be just a little bookstore and candy, and it's where I shop in here. Morrison's, food shop. Changed names a lot. And here is the parking. Lots of parking. There's not lots of parking, guys. There's only a little bit of parking. But people don't park there for too long. And in here, down there, there's another bar that I used to hang out. And this green here has always been there. It's just changed over the years. But they fenced it in and got a bedding shop down here. Here's the bedding shop. You can go into the bedding shop and bet on anything like horses, the dog races, whatever. And whatever you win, you come out with tax-free. Don't pay taxes. You can win the lottery in England, and if it's 50 mil, you get 50 mil. Not like it. Oh, here's my favorite bar I used to hang out. This one. We go any further. Okay, this one houses here neither. It was green. Checkers. Oh my God. What the hell? See, some of this stuff wasn't here. That was a parking lot and everything. I don't know what happened there. But anyway, this bar, the Checkers. Famous Checkers. I'll tell you, everything happened there. The hell happened? So since I moved an inch, look at that. This used to be all parking. My friend lives over here in that house down there. So anyway, guys, that's the village. That is the village. Yeah. And I've walked it all my life. Down here is our church. See the church? St. Mary's Church. My friends used to live there too, in the bungalows. This church has been here a long time. Yep. Last time I was at that church is when my brother was buried. Well, not buried, that's where he had his funeral. Then he went to the crematorium, not another service there. So this is very nice down here. Very nice church. But anyway, going down this alleyway as a kid, these houses weren't here. It's just green. It was the malls. And it was miles of the malls. And they just slowly started building up the village. So this was kind of the village life. Church. It's a real damn church too. So if you want to see a real church, there you go. Yeah. real church. It's very, very old. Hey. And these quaint little cottages. Well, you see, these cottages have been. There's an alleyway there. Let's go to the back. These cottages used to be, I think they used to be thatched cottages. They used to have thatch on them. But just got modernized because they catch on fire very easy. Okay, guys, the internet was in and out, in and out. Go back to where I was. Sorry, guys, the internet keeps going in and out. I don't know. Just for nothing. It's not a storm or anything. It just does that. Let's get back to where I was. Okay, that's the little village. Okay, I'm gonna move, you know. Here we go. so far on it. This used to be the co-op. What is it now? The ATM outside now. Is it not co-op no more? No, it used to be co-op. Yeah, it's still the co-op. Shop. Apartments up here. This used to be my uncle's store. This one right here. Of course, it didn't look like that then. That used to be his store, his property. Here's the back parking. So you can see parking. So you get out and it's free. You don't have to pay. Never used to have to pay. Of course you did. No, just sit up. Ooh, that's not bad. Ooh. Anyway, that's the bus stop. Just stand there any day, catching the bus. I know. See these guys here dressed in orange? Got a trash can. Well, these people are like trash. But what they do is they go around and they get a lot of money. They walk around the villages and up and down the roads and pick up trash that's floating around. And they get paid for it. That's their job. They should do that here. Oh, let's go back there a minute. This used to be the butcher shop and a bike shop. See right here? It used to be the butcher shop where you go get fresh meat. It's a nail salon now. See, them days are gone. Fresh meat. Let's go down here. There's another bar. See if anybody I know that was in these pictures. There's another bar I used to go to. I like this one too. I don't know what it's called now. And my friend lived, I don't know, there's a few friends that lived in these houses once upon a time. And this little thing here, years ago, right here, this used to be like a Sunday school, daycare, and the village hall. We used to have jumbo cells. Oh, I used to love going here. And they also have dances. People hired it out for events. And this used to be the park. I played in this park. It's a wonder it's still here. Used to be a grocery store. And these are little cottages. Then it became a bike store. And these little cottages, you like these cottages? I used to live at the back there when I was a kid, at the back of these cottages. Oh, my friend lives down there because these houses weren't there years ago. Hey, they have another store there. Wow. And here used to be the famous Chinese restaurant. It still is. All at the back. I lived at the back. See them cottages? Lovely, aren't they? They've been there for a long time. So we go up this road, Park Avenue. Ew, it seems a bit small these days. Oh my God, come on. Sorry guys, this keeps messing up. I don't know. Internet keeps messing up, guys. I don't know what's going on, but the internet just keeps going out. It doesn't say it's gone out, but it just keeps messing up. I guess they don't like you when you're using maps too much. All right, let me just go back down here because this seems to have like. Let me just go back here. Right, just turn around. Right. Oh, it just seems a lot smaller. Okay, my friend used to live there, in that house. Of course they did. Right. What's this street called? Let's go back. The Henrys. This is where I lived when I was a kid. Man, that bush wasn't there though. It's grown. Where I lived when I was a kid. Which house was it? Not that one. This one, I think. This house. This was brand new. Some of these houses weren't even here. They were being built on. So when we moved into this house, it was brand new. Yep. It looks a bit rough now. I don't know. So this is our housing estate. So this is kind of where I lived. Used to be all fields. My friend lived in that house. You know, I didn't have a friend that didn't live in any of these houses, I'm telling you. Let's go back down here. This is where I lived. Ugh, down here. I can't get down the alley, but let's go up here. I'll show you where, when I first had my first kid, yeah, my friend lives in these houses, so let's get down this road. Mount Road. You see where those houses are now? They weren't houses, that was just all farmland, which my friend's parents owned. It was just all, ew, what the hell happened there? You see, this was different here. These weren't houses. These were not houses. They were apartments that they built and knocked down. Friend lived there. Friend, oh my God, my school friend lived in one of them houses. I know, I had lots of school friends. This is where I lived. I lived over here. As well. This house. It's a little cul-de-sac. I knew everybody that lived in these homes. Of course I did. Right. This is the house I lived in. Right here. You know, when I was telling the story about getting electrocuted, my mother getting electrocuted, and my childhood friend that lives here in America, she lived in this house right here. There's the alley. I went to the road. So this was my house I lived in. It's a 4-bedroom. And this house, we used to keep an eye on this old man that lived here because his daughter didn't live nearby. And we checked on him one day because he wasn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, like collecting his milk. And we hadn't seen him. So we just went in the house. We had a key. And he was dead in the chair. So anyway, when my son was born, this is where I taught him how to ride a bike. And he was 2. I didn't do the training wheels. I went straight to a 2-wheeler. So now we'll get into where I wanted to show you where, oh, my friend lived there too. Oh my God. My friends lived everywhere, okay? This place here, right here, was a mansion, a big house. These houses went there. My friend's dad owned it. He moved to Australia. It was a mansion. It was, well, it wasn't like this. It was trees, fenced in, and it was just a mansion. This is the green. We used to play on here. I think this used to be a school right here for the village. A little shack. It used to be a school. Oh, let me go take you to the school, my school. So you see where I said I lived? I used to walk down there, walk down here, go down here. There's another bar. Oh my God, what happened to that bar? My friends owned it. Oh my God, it's just like going to wreck and ruin. The hell happened there? Anyway, oh my God, what did they do to it? I don't know when this happened, but this is another bar. Oh my God. But anyway, my aunt lives in that house. She lives in that house, but I had friends that lived in there too when we was younger. And these garages, they weren't like that. They used to be a lot bit better than that. This was just fields when I was a kid. Right, this is my school. So I didn't have far, Stony Lane. I didn't have far to go to school, but I walked it every time. The Kennett School, that was my school. These bushes weren't there then, but I mean, they were growing. So of course we wore uniforms. There's a science thingy right there. It was when I was younger. I don't think I can get in this school. Can't even get in there. There's the bus stop for when the kids came out of, well, they didn't live where we lived. So they would catch a bus. That'd be me. Sometimes I'd ride my bike. Yeah, you can't see the school. Damn it. Oh, let's go in there then. See, all on here was, when I was at school, they didn't have buildings here. They had terrapins. They called them terrapins, but they were like trailers. And we'd had to go to classes in them. But now they built swimming pools and stuff, which they had swimming pools. We had an indoor swimming pool and outdoor swimming pool, but now they got like fitness club and stuff there. This is where like the headmaster used to live or something. This, or the groundsman, if you know what I mean. But now this school is high tech. This school is high tech. Everybody wants to go to this school. So that was my school. That's where the bikes were. And there was one on the opposite side, but there's not one there now. I can't go to the fields. I want to go to the fields, but just can't get to the fields. What the hell? So anyway, that was my school. We could see the fields back in this neighborhood. This place here was called Little America, right? This place right here, this little estate here, this is where it was called Little America, where there was just Americans renting out property at the base. Yeah, many a party down here, many a party. Let's go down here. Yeah. So this was called Little America, and this is where the Americans used to rent these houses out. I used to walk down the street. And over there was the sweet shop, the candy shop. Used to go there all the time, get candy. And all this was all land where we used to have to run at school. There was no houses here, just all land. And there was an army depot down here. Yeah, I used to go to that. And now these are shops. These are full of houses. It just used to be none of these apartments. This is where the railway tracks is. Yep, just used to be fields. And this on this side where these houses are, this used to be an army depot. I did work there for a year. First of all, there's another nice bar here that I used to go to. Here's the crossing, the railway crossing. Yep. Yep. For a little village, yep, we have a, and this is where I used to go when I was a kid, down here, play swim. And these tracks go for miles and miles and miles and miles. They're trails. And over here, some land my friend parents owned. So we used to go down here. This was the river. We used to go swim there. I used to go down there when I was 5 years old by myself with a bunch of kids, and we used to just swim. Okay, this is a little pub I used to go in. Love it, love it. A quaint little village. It's got little bed and breakfasts and stuff like that. It's been there forever. Just been updated, modernized. This down here is where my grandmother lived. Well, she didn't always live there, but she moved down here to get out of her bigger house that she had. She didn't need anymore. So, but my aunt lives down here in the same house. It's just up the back there. See if I can find it. Gotta find the road to get in. It's coming up. I don't even know how to remember all this. Well, I should remember because I've been there forever. Down here. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, I knew lots of Americans that lived here too. And there's the house. That's my grandmother's house. Right here, she moved into a 2-bedroom. That's where my dad is, and that's where my grandmother is. They're in the urn, you know, because they were cremated. Yeah, that's where they live. And my sister used to live up here somewhere in another house, brand new house that they bought when it was first built. I don't know how to get out of here now. That way. So this is what it's like around where I lived. I don't know where I'm going. Going in the ditch. The crematorium's up here somewhere. It's a sign for Ridden. Just go back to Thatcham. Well, we're in Thatcham. Just don't want to go to. Yep, it's going to start freezing again. I hope this is entertaining you. We're back on the Bath Road. This is all farmland, which is still owned. I think there might be a few people that own land, but the Crooks, they own most of it. We don't want to go on that road. We want to stay on the Bath Road. The Bath Road is also called London Road. This is just, where's the gas station? At the back of this gas station is the cemetery where my brother's is buried. See, this is another gas station I used to go to, and my brother's wife was the manager of this gas station. But that wasn't called that then. It was BP gas station. I know that. So, just back where we were back. See that little, that's as old as whatever. And these houses here, they were some old houses, like mansions, you know. It's another bar I used to go to. Yeah, it was all fields. So we're back there. And what I wanted to do was, let's go back that way. I want to take you back up this road. This road goes up to Buckleberry, Harts Hill Road. Of course, all my friends lived up here in these homes. Right. And my uncle lived down here somewhere. Right, this road goes up to Buckleberry, where Kate Middleton lived here. But when I was younger, see, this wasn't here. This was just one road. You see this road? It was just one road. No houses, just fields. Just fields. Just like you would see here, right? That's how it looked back then. None of these houses were here. Just looked like that. Just looked like that. And I used to rollerblade down this hill. You wouldn't do it now, okay? But it's windy and there's a hill. So this is kind of how it looked when I was a kid. It hasn't changed. This hasn't changed. None of this has changed. None of it. Used to go up here and pick berries, wild berries, raspberries, blackberries to make a pie. We never paid for nothing like that. Never paid for apples, pears, anything wild could grow. We picked it. It's going to keep pausing. Doesn't like it when you keep moving it. Now, I don't know which house she lived in. I don't even know where my granddad lived because I just don't remember. I mean, there's houses up here that were never there, except for the old homes. Cottage like. This kid's freezing, guys. I can't help it. It just won't move. Look at it. Just have to wait a minute. Damn it. Why does it keep doing that? I don't think this computer likes Google Maps. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. It keeps. Okay. Oh my God. Well, now I think, oh my, hold on. My internet's playing up. It keeps taking me off. Dan, it's not me. It's the internet. Because I'm English, Polkies. I'm English. That's why I was doing it. You know, I just might get off here because this internet keeps pausing and stuff. I don't know. I can't get the Google map to move again. Oh, there it's moving. Okay, but it's not. Okay. Okay, it got stuck. There we go. It got stuck and it won't go up the hill. Won't go up the hill up to Buckleberry. Let's change location. Maybe it only goes so far. Okay, we're up in Buckleberry. Buckleberry. Let's get out of this road. Just took me to a road. I don't know where it's taking me. All right, let's get out of here. Right, this is the main road I was supposed to be on. This one. So when I was going down that hill right here, okay. This is what it's like up in Buckleberry. See these old cottages? It's probably where my granddad lived, in one of these cottages, because he lived in the older buildings. So this is what it's like up the hill. It's all country. You see that? It's all country. I used to ride my bike up here all the time. Or I used to walk, one or the other. So up here somewhere is where Kate Middleton used to live. I mean, I don't remember which house she lived in. But yeah, there's the countryside. So she's, yeah. kind of how it looked. These roads haven't changed, nothing. They're still small. Still small. This is where Prince William used to come and date his date Kate. This goes all the way into Reading. I mean, I've walked this road many a time down here. Many a time. I mean, there's houses back here. Privacy. A lot of rich people own homes up here because it's so private. Anyway, you could get lost up here if you don't know where you're going. I mean, I couldn't get lost, but you think I'd be riding and walking up here nowadays? No way. What was I thinking? Yeah, well, I guess we had nothing to fear. So this is what it's kind of like, and then you go back into some properties. You know, it's just surrounded by fields. So this is my country life. Just goes on and on and on and on. So if you are a skateboarder, this would be a good place. So if you wanted to live somewhere quiet, this would be the place to go. You probably could never find anybody down here. There's houses back there. What's it say here? Bradfield Field, Reading, Upper Berkeley. That's Upper Berkeley. Let's go that way. I'm not sure which part of Buckleberry they live in because, you know, Buckleberry's a big place. Well, country, but there's lots of roads that go here, there, and everywhere. Are you there, Hawkies? Are you watching? Yeah, I'm just killing time. I thought that well, I was doing the prints. I thought I was going to see something. They're still on right now. I don't know what they're trying to watch. You know, watch him come through the gate. But I just thought I'd show you where I lived. This is in Berkshire. It's where I used to hang out when I was a kid. And I'd be biking or walking it or rollerblading. I don't know where I'm going now. I took another route. Let's see where it leads to. Let's see this sign. It's Buckleberry Farm. And this road's, well, it could lead anywhere, but this road leads back to Thatcher. It's a long way. Don't forget, guys, we drive on the other side of the road. Other side of the road. It's a tractor. Cowboy harvester. So you've got all these little tiny roads that leads off. This is Upper Buckleberry. And Upper Buckleberry, there should be a little post office. My son lived up here somewhere, in an apartment. It's got stuff again. Oh my God. Everything keeps freezing all the time. Let's go down the road. So this is Upper Bucklebury, where they got different housing, like a little house and estate. Ugh. This is not the part where they lived, where Kate lived. This is just a busy area. Uh-huh. This is the garage where my ex-boyfriend took a job. He used to own this and work here. He's back down in Thatcham. He still owns a business. There you go. Where did my son live? I might not be able to remember where the hell he lived. Down here somewhere in, not there. I'm not sure. Yeah, used to hang your washing out. That's what I love. Hang your bloody washing out on the line. The Highlands. Yep. It's like a mansion there. Just went a different direction here. You get down this hill fast enough. 40 miles an hour down here. Froze again. Yep. The Google is frozen again. It won't let me move. Anyway, it's nice to see the countryside again. I guess it looks a bit like America, you know what I mean? In the they say England's very small, but they got a lot of land that they're never built on. It's not letting me move. The hell? It's a nice scenery. I could take you on adventures. I could take you on adventures by Google. I could take you to the seaside place I used to go. But that be for another time. And thank you for stopping by. I'll see you later.